Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this time we have a mixed tier match with the Fulham himself. And I believe we're using 2 OUs, 2 UUs, and 2 NUs each. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. As you can see, I am going to go ahead and bring Zangoose again. I was quite happy with the way it performed last time I brought it, so I'm like, okay, it's NU, and I'm going to abuse that fact by bringing it to this game. But, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave with Deontay. He ends up leading with this Galvantula, which was kind of obvious. I'm going to go ahead and Mega Evolve, and I actually expect him to switch out here, predicting my Protect. Instead, he makes a pretty good play and just goes for the Giga Drain, thinking that I wouldn't Protect. But yeah, I was actually trying to hit a switch with the Diamond Storm, although I figured even if he does stay in, he shouldn't be able to kill me, and I should be able to kill him with Diamond Storm, and I miss. And that definitely would have killed the Galvantula. Well, it would have hit down to its Focus Sash if it had one. But it would have definitely hit it down to 1 at the very least. And that's actually going to matter more than you might expect later, I think. But, oh well. I'm going to continue going for the Diamond Storm, knowing that it's probably going to murder it. And he just switches out wisely, knowing that I am faster after my Mega Evolution. So I'm going to go ahead and Protect and see what this Landorus is going to do. And I see that it has Lefty, so it's not Scarfed or Banded. So that is something that is worth noting. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out again now. And I know that he can switch his move. I figure that Suicune should be able to take pretty much anything this guy throws at me. So, beginning that Suicune, this is, physically defensive with Calm Mind. And, yeah, as you can see, I take that Earthquake pretty nicely, considering it's a Landorus using its Stab Earthquake move. So, yeah, he's going to go ahead and U-turn, and that's okay. You can do that, Fulham. And, yeah, he just goes ahead and U-turns into a Moongus, which is going to pretty much wall this Suicune. I don't have 2 moves on this. This is a Rest Talker. So, yeah, I only have room for 1 move, and it is Scald. I've been thinking about actually trying Suicune with the 1-move Ice Beam, but not this time. That would have been nice, but actually I probably should have switched out anyway. It's not like I would have been doing that much with Ice Beam without Calm Mind or 2. Either way, come in to Credillia Pokemon. I haven't really used much this channel, though. My long-term viewers will realize that will remember that this is one of my favorite Pokemon. Either way, I don't think there's a whole lot he can do to me. I actually can't really do much to him either, but I can pretty much take all of his moves and stuff, so that's kind of neat. And off he goes, switching back out, going out into Heracross, which is always a threatening Pokemon. In fact, looking at my team, this is a real threat, assuming it's a Scarfer. Scarf Heracross is just kind of a dominant beast if you have, like... It's just a dominant beast in general. It's definitely playable in OU, in my opinion. It's a big threat, especially with Moxie. Either way, gonna go back out into Coon now, figuring that this thing has the best chance to take whatever, and he just goes for the close combat, which was a good play. It's a strongest move, and I really should have went into Dragonite predicting it, but I was so afraid he was going to, like, go for a Stone Edge or something, but guess not. Alright, so I go into Dragonite now, and, yeah, is locked in a close combat, and, because he is Scarfed, and it doesn't really do much to me, due to the fact I have my multi-scale up. Not to mention I resisted, and Dragonite is fairly bulky. It will force his switch out into Landorus, who does get the Intimidate off as well, as I get a Dragon Dance, which pretty much all that ends up doing is giving me +1 speed at the end of the day, but +1 speed is better than no +1 speed, right? Anyway, I'm pretty confident I'm going to outspeed this thing now, because obviously he doesn't have a Scarf, and I do have +1 speed, so either way, I'm just going to go for an Outrage. I figure that I should be able to 2-hit KO it, even at normal attack, and as you can see, it does look to be about a 2-hit KO. I do actually take a Stone Edge, thankfully, and at this point, he has to pretty much sack something, because Outrage is super powerful. I can probably 2-hit KO anything he has, and not to mention, if he stays in, he's gonna end up losing that, but he's able to go into Galvantula because I didn't murder it earlier, so that's where the turn 1 miss really hurts me. Anyway, so I am confused this turn, but I do have the Lumberry to cure it, although now he can just go right back into Heracross, and actually ends up going into Ditto, not Heracross. Now, like most Dittos, this is Imposter and Choice Scarf. We've all seen Fulham use this Ditto before. Thankfully, he does not, Imposter a attack boost, because he did Intimidate me. All that he has is +1 speed, actually +2 speed, factoring in his Choice Scarf as well. So I know he locked himself into extreme speed, so I'm just going to go into Deontay thinking that I can take it due to the fact that I do resist the normal move. So I'm hoping to live it. He ends up just not even risking and switching out into a Moongus, as I just go for a Diamond Storm, which is a good play because a Moongus does resist it. And, sorry, it does not resist it. I don't know what I was thinking. No. It would have resisted Moonblast. But I did go for Diamond Storm, which is better. I'm hoping to 2-hit KO it here, looking at that damage at maybe a little more than half. No, I'm not going to be able to 2-hit KO it, although I did get 2 defense boosts, which I guess is kind of nice, but it's not going to save me against a Moongus. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm obviously not going to be able to KO this thing. He is healing us slightly more, factoring in the leftovers, so that's unfortunate for me, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out. He lost his opportunity to kill this thing. He is going to try for it this turn, figuring that he'd rather just lose this thing, to pretty much sack his Amoonguss to kill me, but not a good prediction for him, because I do decide to go into Darmanitan, who has a Flare Blitz in him. Darmanitan is super powerful. I am a Choice Banded one on top of that, so bam! That's going to murder the Amoonguss, and that's pretty awesome, because that Amoonguss was kind of trolling me with its bulk this whole game. So, yeah, in comes Ditto again, and this one is going to be a Choice Scarf one. Although, it would have been interesting if I decided to bring Choice Scarf Darmanitan instead, because then we'd pretty much be a speed tie here, and I could have potentially decided to stay in and try to YOLO it, but no, that's not the case. I'm going to go into Suicune predicting the Flare Blitz. Not that it really matters, because it's Death Fodder either way. It's not going to live a Flare Blitz, even though it does resist, and I do have good physical defense. I'm just too weak to do it at this point, although I do try, and try to go for a rest, but them's the breaks. So now I'm actually really scared. This thing is not quite as powerful as a Choice Banded Darmanitan, but it can still do a lot of damage. I go into my Credilli thinking that this is probably the best chance I have to survive one. He ends up switching out, though, into Heracross, which is a good play, as I just go for Recover, expecting him to go for the Flare Blitz. So that's a overall net win for him, because I don't really heal much from that. And at this point, I really don't have anything to live a close combat anymore. I lost Dragonite, and it was the only real switch-in I had for close combat, which is definitely not good. And at this point, I do have a plan still to maybe get rid of this Heracross, but I need to sack something else. I don't feel comfortable at just -1 defense and special defense. My only real hope at this point is to go into Zangoose, who does have Quick Attack. However, I don't get that Toxic Orb boost the first turn I come in. Remember, at the end of the turn. So, unfortunately for me, I have to be able to kill it without my Toxic Rage boost, or whatever it's called. What is that called? Actually, I think it's just called Toxic Boost. Either way, I'm not going to have to go into... So I needed that -2 defense from 2 close combats in my mind in order to be able to realistically kill it with Quick Attack. And, yeah, he's going to wisely switch out, saving his Heracross, because he knew that he was at half defense, obviously. And, yeah, now I do pick up my Toxic Orb, though, so I'm going to be much stronger. And after the, Toxic Boost, I'm able to go ahead and take out that Landorus with a Quick Attack, which is also good. And in comes Ditto again, and this thing is going to turn into me. However, he's not going to get boosted by Toxic Boost, because while Imposter will copy actual stat changes, it will not. It also copies the ability, and the ability isn't an actual stat change. It's based on the ability, kind of like a permanent effect. So I go back into my Deontay, actually kind of expecting to Death Fodder it. He ends up just going for the Quick Attack, which is really excellent for me, because I am able to take 2 of them due to my resistance, and the fact that this Zangoose, and keep in mind this Zangoose actually copied -1 attack because of his Intimidate, and that's one of the reasons I needed to switch out Zangoose, is to get my attack stat back to the way it's supposed to be. So that was actually really critical for me. So he goes back into Heracross. He makes a great play here, going for the Earthquake, realizing that he should be able to kill Zangoose anyway with a +1 Earthquake. Zangoose is not very bulky, so he decides not to go for close combat and take that -1 defense, which is huge. Now I have to hope that I can come in and deal that much damage to him. If I can do that, I know that I can take care of his last Pokemon, Miltank, with a close combat, and he barely lives. That's the one that really could have gone either way, and it's unfortunate, but Zangoose does go down. Either way, great game, Fulham. It was a real close one. That Heracross, I had really no answer for it. My only hope was to be able to take it out with Zangoose, and if only I could do that, I could have close combated the Miltank. Oh well, it was still, like I said, a great match, and I assume everyone here can agree. Leave a comment about a non-video game related hobby that you have. If you don't have another non-video game related hobby, you probably should get one, because that's just kind of sad. As for me, I do like tabletop gaming, whether it's card gaming, board gaming, all that stuff. You guys probably already know that. if you've been watching me for very long. But leave a comment about that, and see you guys again next time. Later.